Ni
Okay.
hao.
Ni hao.
Ni hao ma.
Uh, Wo
Wo.
hen hao.
How the Fei Chan how, which means me just telling you that that was really good for our first.
Okay. Very good. And how do you say thank you?
谢谢.
Okay. Shishe. Okay. Good.
谢
Okay.
谢.
All right.
Yes.
I think I'm an expert now.
Like, subscribe, and share to Voices of Linden TV.
Welcome to another edition of the Let's Talk Show. I'm your host, Andrew James, and today I'm pleased to have with us in studio via Zoom Miss Kayshell Jennings, a former Mackenzie High School student, year 2012 to 2014, following which Ms. Jennings was fortunate enough to receive a scholarship to study as a medical student in China from the year 2015 to 2020. Currently, Ms. Jennings is a medical doctor in training at Georgetown American University. I'm pleased to welcome Ms. Kayshell Jennings.
Good day, everyone. Thank you, Andrew James, for having me today. It's a pleasure.
Very good. Welcome to the show. It's so nice to see you after so many years. How have you been?
I have been great. Pandemic aside, life has really been good.
Yeah. Ms. Jennings, for folks watching that don't know who, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, please?
Okay, great. Besides from what we've already learned, my name is Kayshell Jennings. I was a student at Mackenzie High School, the year 2012 to 2014. Afterwards, I got a scholarship. I am up to study in China. I'm a proud Lindener, born and raised. I'm a true ambassador for Linden. I started school, my most of my educational years in Linden, the Urban Drive Nursery School, all the way to the Amelia's War Primary School, where I excelled. I got the top position at the Amelia's War Primary School and third in the region, I believe.
Nice.
Many months ago, I think in 2007, and I was awarded a place at the Bishop's High School. That's where I did my most of my high school journey from the year 2007 to 2012. Um, Wrote my CSEC there, and then decided after a series of what I say quite fortunate events, I was able to return home, and I decided, you know what, I'm going to do sixth form, and I'm going to do it right at Mackenzie High School. A lot of people didn't understand it, but at the time, I believed that, you know what, it doesn't matter where you go. Once you have your knowledge in here, you can be great anywhere. And I went to Mackenzie High School, and I'm going to say that was 2 really awesome years. I had some really interesting teachers, Miss Huntley, Miss McDonald, and the culture there was really great, and I enjoyed my 2 years.
Very nice story. Nicely said. You mentioned Linden a couple of times there in your little introduction. What was life like for you growing up in the town of Linden?
Well, I would say Linden moves at a much slower pace than Georgetown. And a lot of people come like, Joel, Linden is so slow. But for me, Linden is very peaceful. My high school years, I don't have to worry about a lot in Linden. We're a peaceful people compared to the larger cities. We work together well. When Lindeners put their minds together to do something, best believe it's going to get it done. I think we are almost known for that nationally and regionally. In terms of my high school life at the Mackenzie High School, sixth form days, I found that my class environment, we cooperate really well. We work well together for SBAs and labs. There was just a sense of community and togetherness. I remember us in sixth form there, the crew, Rukia, Naosi, all in a bus huddled up. We go into Georgia for lessons, and we'll be known as the Linden crew.
Yes.
Linden crew at the Georgetown lessons. So we didn't care. We were just awesome. And I know most, if not all of those exceptional young women have gone on to do really great things. Yeah. So the sense of community and cooperation is there in Linden. That's what we're known for.
Yeah, Linden is a community that's known for its sense of resilience. I've heard that word mentioned
Yes.
so many different times. Any fond memories of your time at Mackenzie High School that you care to share with us?
Mhm. Mackenzie High School was a new air. I know the culture at Bishop's High School, there was more focus on academics, but I found at Mackenzie High School, there was a good balance of academics and also, you're socializing. You were able to develop, I was able to develop skills in public speaking. No, Miss Huntley, formerly Miss Hines, would host these poetry competitions. And, I was there doing poetry, something I probably would have never done. And me to really come out of my shell and express myself. And one of the poems I did was Phenomenal Woman by Maya Angelou. And we all know that's a famous poem, but it became my favorite, and I would recite it almost every time. I'm just going to give you a little sneak peek, not the entire thing.
Okay.
At a time, pretty women wonder where my secret lies. I'm not cute or built to suit a fashion model size. But when I try to tell them, they think I'm telling lies. I say it's in the reach of my arms, the span of my hips, the stride of my steps, and the curl of my lips. I'm a woman, phenomenal woman. That's me.
Very nicely said. Thank you.
All you're getting now.
That's okay. That's more than I think I deserve. I was reading your story. I do follow you, of course. To me, you are an inspiration.
Thank you.
I really enjoy reading your journey. And through somewhere in one of your posts, I remember there was a little write up there where it says, "There's no limit on what I can achieve." I think that's your little motto that you subscribe to. If you're able to, can you tell us what is the meaning of that through your own lens? There is no limit on what I can achieve.
Yeah. So in the terms of there is no limit, I paraphrase it as there is no box. I know a lot of people tell us to think outside the box. I decided, you know what, let me completely remove the box, because I think that's something that limits us. We end up limiting ourselves. I'm from Linden, I can only do this. Oh, I'm from Guyana, I cannot do this. Oh, I'm from this small family. My mother is a single parent, and we almost build a wall of limitations around ourselves based on our circumstances or the places that we, our history, our family history. What I've decided to do as I go along my life's journey is to really take off those limits. Those are my stories. Yes, I come from Linden. Yes, I come from a single parent family. Yes, but those are not going to define the experiences that I'm allowed to have in this life. And when I started to do that, the possibilities really became endless. And that's another thing, owning who you are and yet living a limitless regardless. There is no box. We don't even have to think outside it. Guyana is not the box. The world is not the box. There are opportunities, and there are endless opportunities. And I've been trying and proving this experimental, there is no box ideology in terms of, going to China, having a whole experience. Yes, the same Linden girl from Amelia's Ward used to run barefoot and play in the sand. It's China, not only China, but Africa as well is at forums and all these things. So, your story is your story, but there are no limits.
Very nicely said. Miss Jennings, don't want to be presumptuous and call you doctor. I know I will be calling you doctor.
You're allowed to. You're allowed to.
Dr. Jennings.
Great practice. It's great practice.
I know who to call when I'm not feeling well, of course. Can you tell us a little bit about what it is that you do in your spare time? When you're not studying, when you're not at work, what it is that you do? in your spare time?
Well, I have found the pandemic has caused me to find rest and relaxation. Before we all needed to be outside and doing the most. I find since returning home, there's a sense of peace and love within my family nest. I don't know if it's the 5 years being separated from family, but sometimes I just can't wait to run home to Linden, to just be in the house and be with my mother and my little sister. There's just a sense of relaxation. So that's what I try to do. I know sometimes we're so caught up in the busyness of life and the doing that we forget that rest and relaxation is important. So that is what takes up my spare time. And when I'm not doing that, I'm watching YouTube videos, I'm scrolling through the internet. But now I think I might have to change because since the schedule is becoming a little more hectic, my relaxation time is now my school time or my training time is now infringing on that. So for me, rest and relaxation whenever I can.
Very nicely said. There's a famous saying that says it takes a village to raise a child. Anyone you want to shout out? I know you've been through I would say it's a journey. It's a very good journey. Throughout your journey, anyone you want to acknowledge and shout out and just show some love to at this time?
Okay, great. I'd like to shout out my teachers from the Honor Drive Nursery and the Middlesbrough Primary School, to all the teachers there that took me under their wings. Let me share this interesting story. Teacher Lily from the Middlesbrough Primary School. I remember going there. My sister is there now. My name is on the board, on the honor board for top performance. It's there. And she always says, my sister's name is there. And I went to visit the school when I came back from China for a holiday. That's before COVID, stopped everything. And Teacher Lily had my school book, like a book that I wrote in when I was 10 or 11. Wow. She had that book, using it to teach her students. And for me, that was a oh my goodness moment.
Nice.
To know that, okay, years after I've left the Middlesbrough Primary School, I've gone on to do so many things, to know that they valued my presence in the school so much, and I made such an impact that, she would tell some students about Kayshell Jennings and how hard she worked while she was at school. So that's and teacher Carol Braffett as well, who was my grade 6 teacher, and my family, who have been very supportive with me through this journey. My mother, Miss Monique McPherson, everybody knows her as Miss Monique. My aunts and uncles and my numerous friends. Hi, Jem. That I've known from primary school to secondary school, and that we've still kept the true bond of friendship until now. So yeah. Shout out to all those amazing people who have supported me on this journey.
Very nice. I just want to do a quick plug to Teacher Lily. What a great story. What a great story with the book. I remember when I was in school, I was never a model student, but my books, they used to be like this. You used to just spell them out. They were.
I don't think that's nice to do. That's a nice thing to do.
Well, I don't know. That used to be the reaction to my books. Bringing it back, can you tell us about your experience in China? What was it like studying in China, if you're able to share that with us?
Yes. So China was indeed an experience. Being the adventurous person that I am, I was like, okay, I'm going to take this experience and I'm going to be the best at it. I had a friend who is now a doctor, Dr. Lynch, who was in China already. And I'm like, okay, she's like, Kayshell, I think you can do it. You can adapt and you can make it happen. And she was so supportive. And I really do appreciate her being also a fellow Lindener, looking out for another Lindener, getting back to that same thing where we talk about community and cooperation. So she was there. China was different. China was very new. Learning Mandarin was a whole new experience. And I think you have to go there with a slightly open mind, not too that everything that you've learned falls out, because you still need to be grounded in your trainings and teachings that you've had while you were growing up, but still to learning. You get rid of the forks, exchange it with the chopsticks, get rid of your English for the most part, and switch it with Mandarin. And that's my advice to anybody who's stepping into a new situation. The faster you adapt, the better for you. I walked with a spoon and a fork in my back for 6 months. For what reason? I was there for 5 years. I might as well have changed it out the minute I landed. Anyway, China was a breath of fresh air. It allowed me to interact with students from across the world. Being Guyanese, there are other Guyanese there, which was really great in terms of having a support system and people that can speak, your little Creolese when you get ready. We have our own thing and our own activities and celebrations. That was really great. But other than that, just a new interaction to life outside of Guyana. And you meet so many people from so many places. And one of the things I always had in the back of my mind was, how am I being the best representative for Linden or Guyana or, South America? Because a lot of people, I'm the first person they've met from Linden. Nobody knows in China where Linden is or where Guyana is sometimes. And I'm ambassador and I'm that representative. So I always had that in the back of my head. I learned Mandarin in 9 months. I'm proficient at the level. So there are 6 levels of Mandarin learning. I'm at level number 5, which can tell you if there's 6 levels and I'm at 5, I think I'm pretty okay. Some needs brushing up since I've been home, but so far, so good. There, my name is Butterfly, and that's another interesting thing. When you're in China, you take a new name. Wow. And being the adventurous person that I am, I took the name Butterfly. I was going with giraffe, my favorite animals, but then I took Butterfly because it sounded better. So sometimes I refer to myself as the Guyanese Chinese butterfly. So I'm going to share a bit of Mandarin with you. I'm going to introduce myself and then I'm going to translate to let you know what I just said. 大家好，我是蝴蝶，我是贵阳人，学的5年在中国，我学的汉语比较好，但是学汉语比较不容易。
Very good. And what is the translation for that one?
So I basically said, my name is Butterfly, and it's interesting that in China, I wasn't called Kayshell, I was called Butterfly. You get a Chinese name, and I chose something very interesting. So I said, hello, everyone. I am Butterfly. That's my Chinese name. I studied in China 5 years.
Very nice. So we have officially gone to Mandarin on the Let's Talk show.
Yes, we're going to Mandarin. And I'm going to use this opportunity to teach you a few things. Basic introduction, small conversation that you can have with someone from China.
Okay. I was willing to learn.
So the first thing you can say is hello, which is ni hao.
Okay, ni hao.
Yes, and then you say hello. Both persons can respond ni hao, and then I will say ni hao ma, and that how are you? And you respond wo hen hao, which means I'm great. I'm fine.
Very good.
Try this out.
Okay, so you want me to initiate or you want to initiate?
I'm gonna say ni hao.
Ni hao.
Ni hao ma.
Wo hen hao.
How the Fei Chan how, which means me just telling you that was really good for our first.
Very good. And how do you say thank you?
谢谢.
Okay, 谢谢. Okay, good.
谢谢.
Okay. All right. I think I'm an expert now, so I'll start off and just ni hao.
Ni hao. Ni hao ma.
Okay, so wo hen hao.
How the.
Very good. Very good. Very, very good. You know, Miss Jennings, I'm really enjoying this. I think we should have a program, specifically, I guess, that designated towards learning the Mandarin language. I'm liking it already, and it's just my first day. Getting back to the show, what advice would you give to a young person who is not achieving academic excellence? So a young student watching some, it could be wherever they are in their high school years, and they're struggling academically. What advice would you give to that person?
Okay, that's a great question. And I know that there has been so much pressure, especially on students in the high school in high school to perform academically well. And I think even that is limiting sometimes the potential of students to go on and do great things.
Mhm.
So I think we need to take off those blinders that says, okay, you can only become a doctor, a lawyer, policeman, or a teacher. The world is so it's expanding. COVID-19 has taught us that we'll probably need a little more, little more ingenuity to face the challenges that we have. Look, we have Zoom platforms. Technology is making a comeback. What is going into work? We have work from home, and a lot of that requires some technical skills that are beyond what we learned, especially here in Guyana. So my advice to you is just that the same way. Do not be confined by a box. Take out that box, go beyond that limit. If you're good with your hands and you can do art and craft, go for it. If you like seeing people look good, fashion designer, go for it. There's schools that can teach you. If you find that you can take apart a computer and build it back in an hour, then go for it. Do not let academics limit your potential, because we're seeing it here with millionaires and people who are changing the world that did not let academics stop them. So for my advice would be okay, besides academic, what is your niche? What is something that you're good at that you can do,
Mhm.
create not only income for yourself, but create a platform? Are you good at talking? Can you hold on a conversation? Start a YouTube channel. It might go slow at first, but then when people see that, okay, this person has something to say and we want to hear them, start coding. Technology is it, and technology provides a scope. I think that channels a different section of your brain that reading or the chalkboard might not. So that is my encouragement. Yeah. And connect with people who are doing these things so that you can have some sort of inspiration as well.
Excellent work, Doc. We're just pushing up against time. My final question to you is, what do you think we can do as a group or as an association to influence change in the lives of one, for example, student at Mackenzie High School?
Okay, great. I think what is needed in this time is a presence. I think having an alumni presence in the school would be a great asset to the students, and not only being present, because I know a lot sometimes schools there's an alumni present, but the gap between the alumni and the student is so wide. Students do not know how to transition. How do we reach out for help from the people who have been through this before? I'm saying, so my advice, we want to be present, be accessible in terms of we have a bunch of skills and talents in our alumni community. We have doctors, lawyers, counselors, therapists, and these are all skills that students would benefit from. We can hold that gap between students and alumni to be smaller and reach out to do one-on-one mentorship, especially if it's in areas that we know that students can benefit from. I think that would be a great program. And I would go as far to say that I would be willing to participate in a program like that if it's ever available. There's a student who says, you know what, I wanted to study medicine or I want to learn a new language. I've seen you do it. How can I do it? So bridging that gap and becoming a resource center. I know finances are important, and I know that the alumni bodies usually find creative ways to build funding for some students who might be in a tricky situation, but might have the desire and the capacity to further their dreams, and how we who are better off in a sense or have acquired since we're older along the line to assist them and to develop these dreams. So accessibility, being present, and assisting financially.
Excellent. During one of your Facebook blogs there, I noticed you did mention something about an award that you are currently leading out for your primary school or your nursery school, some school that you attended. Can you briefly tell us a little bit about that?
So I could not tell you guys what to do as an alumni if I'm not doing. I need to walk the walk as well. So I support the Amelia Zwar Primary School. And I think a lot of times we need to do really, really big things. But sometimes it starts with a really small thing. I'm interested in science. So I do the Kayshell Jennings Science Award for students who have performed excellently in the science subjects in the grade 6 assessment. And it's a trophy and a certificate. But I think it goes a long way to letting students know that we see them, we recognize them. And I usually add a small note, or I try to get in contact with them to let them know, okay, I was once where you are. And I've done all these things. There is no limit. Do not limit yourself as a student of Linden. We hear so many negative things about persons from Linden. It's slow, things, nothing going on in Linden. But you don't have to listen to that. You can be from Linden, proud, and still go ahead and be a dynamic individual pursuing greater things.
Are you handing out the award this year?
So I'm working with the Amusewar Primary School. I know that this Miss Candace is looking at this. Yes, we are working on it. And this is the first time I'm giving the award while I'm in Guyana. Usually I get someone to donate on my behalf. So this is pretty interesting that I get to do it myself this year.
Dr. Jennings, on behalf of everyone at the Mackenzie High School Alumni Association and our friends at the Let's Talk show, I want to take this opportunity to thank you very much for being a part of the show. You have made Mackenzie High School proud. You have made Linden proud. You have made Guyana proud. And I think I'm able to plug, you have even made South America proud. We appreciate you coming on the show. We appreciate your commitment to making Linden a better place and to making the community that you live, you work, and you serve in a better place for all to live. Thank you very much. Have a good night. Stay safe. Keep smiling and keep doing what you do best. Good night.
Good night, and thank you for having me. Thank you.
All right. I look forward to working with you in the future. Take care, Doc.
You too. Bye.
Bye-bye.